Under two circumstances, we are asked to introduce ourselves. One is the social gathering. We meet somebody for the first time. So in that very situation, we are supposed to introduce ourselves. Another situation is when we are appearing for some job interview. So in both the situations, that very moment is very important for us when we are introducing ourselves. In case of job interviews, when we enter in the room and we are facing some interview panel, there may be two persons or more than two persons sitting over there. And the first question or the first statement which comes from their side is, kindly introduce yourself. Or they may say, please say a few words about you. So, though these kinds of statements, they sound a bit generic, but your answers, your replies, given in response to these statements, they lay a blueprint or lay the foundation for the rest of your trajectory. So never take these statements very lightly. Moreover, you must grab these moments as opportunities to showcase your best. As it is said that the first impression is the last impression, so that way your introduction should be very crispy and to the point and very effective also. Hi friends, I'm Kavaljit Kaur, and in this video I'm going to give you just few tips or just to let you know that how to give your introduction, how to introduce yourself in both the settings, whether these are informal settings or these are the formal settings. Now let's take the scenario when you are appearing for your job interview. So try to keep one thing in your mind. You should have, throughout the interview, you should have a smile on your face. Another thing, first of all, greet them. Either say hello, hi, depending upon the kind of environment is there or what kind of job you are appearing for. So greet them. And then comes your actual introduction. First of all comes your name. Always say, my name is blah 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 or I am blah blah blah. Never say myself. Not to say myself, it is incorrect. I have seen this thing a number of times in my career, that whenever the candidates come, they appear for the interview and they begin their introduction or they tell their name by saying myself so and so, myself blah blah blah. So never use the word myself. Always say I am so and so or my name is so and so. After telling your name, second thing on the cards comes your qualification. Now tell about your qualification, your degree. And don't give it a miss if your institution is a renowned institution. Always try to take a pride in mentioning the name of your alma mater. That I did my graduation or I did my MBA in this subject from this very institution. After you are done with your qualification, then next comes your current position. If you are already doing some job, then tell about your organization and also tell about your designation. So once you are done with your designation, that presently or currently I am working as an attendant, I am working as a superintendent, I am working as the in charge, blah blah blah, in this very organization. After that comes the kind of job you are doing, like being on that designation, on that position, what kind of job you do. So that is very important. Next comes your achievements. Here you can give your achievements. Either these achievements you have attained as a student, if like suppose you are a student or you have just completed your degree and you are appearing for the job interview for the first time. Or if you are already in job, even then you might have attained some accolades during your journey. So don't forget to mention about your achievements. By mentioning your achievements, you would definitely create a good impression on the minds of the interviewer. So that way it may help them to take decision in your favor. So once you are done with your achievements, then you may come to your strength and limitations. I always consider this thing is very important when you are appearing for any interview and you are asked to describe about yourself. Never finish within 2 or 3 lines. Always try to elaborate a bit more so that whole of your personality gets reflected in those 2-3 minutes. So always mention about your strength. Everybody has some strength. Somebody can work for longer periods in a stretch, for long hours they can work in one go. So this kind of thing. So just explore yourself. What is your inner strength? Somebody, they are very hardworking. Somebody, they are innovative. They have innovative ideas. So mention your strength over there. Then don't forget to mention your limitation, because there is no one who doesn't have a limitation. Everybody has some limitation. So when you disclose about your limitation, your employer always takes in a good sense. So that creates a kind of impression that you are clear about your potentials. Once you are done with all important things, then you may mention about your hobbies, because when you tell about your hobbies, like if you love to travel, then it means you are best suitable candidate for the field work or the kind of job where traveling is a must. Then you can tell about, like, if you are a singer, you love singing, you love reading or listening music. So this shows that you are a kind of lively person. So always try to make your introduction very crispy, to the point, but very interesting also, and very effective also. Now let's take the scenario when you are meeting somebody at some social gathering, and this kind of situation always have two-way conversation. In the earlier one, it is mostly one-way conversation, right? But in some of the cases, the employer may get involved in follow-up questions. But normally, or majority of the interview part, especially your introductory part, that happens to be one way only. Let's talk about the informal kind of situation where you are meeting somebody for the first time. Some persons you see there whom you have not met earlier. So that way you can take the lead by asking some question. For example, what is your name, please? Or I haven't seen you earlier. Can you let me know what is your name, please? Or what do you do? So that way you may get engaged. Then you are supposed to tell about yourself. In this very situation, there is no need to mention about your achievements. Yes, because it's a social kind of gathering, and if you are a member of some social organization or a club, that you may mention over here, like, suppose I am a member of a Gymkhana club. So this way you can elaborate it a bit more. Here you can elaborate your hobbies also, like if you are a sports person, or I love cricket, I love to play polo, I love to play golf, etc., etc. But always be prepared that whenever you are introducing yourself in any setup, whether formal or informal, you should be prepared beforehand, and everything should be on your fingertips, that in what order you are going to describe about yourself. And yes, one thing you should always keep in your mind: never exaggerate, never overdo anything. And especially in case of a formal situation, when you are appearing for some job interview, try to use simple vocabulary words and try to make simpler sentences. Never overdo with the fancy vocabulary words and the phrasal verbs. So try to make it simple and understandable.